Hello, everybody, and I'm back. I wanted to do a series, and I've done a lot of other ones as far as live action. I did my whole piece on The Punisher season one and two, and I know I've been gravitating a lot towards Netflix, but my last anime I did was Akira, which I wanted to do a follow-up on another anime that's near and dear to my heart. There is an anime which spawned a horrendous Netflix original, which was what I was talking about with the hit or miss on my last review. And this anime is Death Note. Now, for those of you not familiar with Death Note, I'm going to lay down the premise and give you reasons on why you should be watching this anime. Now, let me give a little backstory. A lot of reasons why people won't watch anime is they think that it's cartoons. But keep in mind, these are animated features, and I say features because I don't put in the category cartoons. They deal with a lot of mature adult themes, and they deal with things that you wouldn't see on Bugs Bunny or the rest of the Americanized cartoons that we have. The Japanese have been doing this for years, and the great part is this is translated and translated magnificently, I might say. So, seeing as to this is an awfully big show, it's broken up roughly, I want to say about 50 odd episodes, two seasons, and each have their own strengths and weaknesses, each tell a different part of the same story. So I'm going to do this as a part one of sorts. And then later on, when I get done with the back half, so I can remember all of the plot points for the second act, I can give a better detailed analysis. Now, Death Note is the story of a young high school student named Light Yagami who finds a notebook that is entitled, hence the name, Death Note, and he this picks it up and starts reading it. And in the book, it simply states, "Whose ever name is written in this shall die." And so, him thinking it's some kind of a joke, he takes it home and he wants to test this book out. Now, the intriguing part of this anime is how it deals with good, evil, life, and death. Okay, Light Yagami essentially starts out as a protagonist and shifts to an antagonist. But really, in this world, there are no protagonists and antagonists, which makes it a fascinating study. This world is humans. It is basically saying we are the protagonist and the antagonist. We all have the capacities for good and evil. What makes people good and evil are choices. And really, the characters in this show are the choices. The overarching theme of life and death and of this battle that ensues is all based on choices from both the main characters. They're main characters, but each of them have pro and antagonists in them. Each of them have done things that paint them in a shade of gray. So, to start off with, in the first half of this show, focuses on Light finding this Death Note. And he has a strong sense of justice, but tired with criminals who do horrendous things to people getting away with basically murder or rape or robbery or all other manners of really bad stuff, he decides he is going to be the beacon of justice. He decides to take on this title of a god of a new world. He's going to create a world of prosperity and joy where good, hardworking people can enjoy their lives and not have the fear of someone robbing them or killing them, where we can all live and live a nice full life and essentially die of natural causes. Now, on paper, this sounds like a great notion, right? Who wouldn't want to rid the world of criminals? But then comes the question of where do you stop being the hero and start being judge, jury, and executioner? And I think that's what the show poses a lot of questions. What is right? What is wrong? Where is the moral line? And how far each character is from crossing that line. And the beginning half starts out with him just taking out criminals. But after a while, he gets noticed by a detective, a world class detective who there's nothing he can't solve. Think of him kind of like the Japanese Sherlock Holmes in the form of L. And L uh, starts to track down Light, or rather, the killer, to try to figure out who it is. And then it becomes a tense psychological thriller over these two brilliant minds sort of doing battle. And we start to see uh, killers and cops and all sorts of people getting uh, kind of caught in between this battle that they have. And then comes the turning point of where they go as to far as to making friends with each other, each not knowing that the other one is the person that they're searching for. Well, Light knows who L is, but um, L knows but doesn't know and kind of suspect. And then in a twisted fashion, they start to become really good friends due to the circumstances that happen. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's very intricate. From the first episode to the last, it will have you hooked. Now, the pros of this show is that it is so well written, and the lines between good and evil are very blurry in the beginning. And you might think that you have the main protagonist, Light, pegged as this awful evil guy, especially the latter half of the anime. Uh, but there's a lot more depth to him, and there's certain episodes where you see that he's not all evil, and he's certainly not good. He's just at some points doing what he has to do to survive, to achieve this dream for a better world for everyone. And in his mind, he's the hero. And then we have L, who is this great detective who also has a strong sense of justice, who feels that he is just downright wrong. We're not gods. We're not meant to have this kind of power. And he will stop at nothing to put him away, even crossing a few lines himself, putting people in danger as a way to trap him and finally bring him to justice. And I think the first half of the anime, in a sense, is the strongest half, even though the second half does have strong points and it pulls it all together artistically at the end. I think L is a great protagonist, and the depths of this game that they play with each other is the highlight. Now, cons, I can't say very many, honestly, and it could be my bias towards this show, but I think once, if you're not a fan of anime, if you got past the fact that this is an animated show and you watch it for what it is and the subject matter that it talks about, I mean, this notebook is literally a book from what the Japanese believe death gods, or think of like a Grim Reaper. And at certain points, the character interacts with this Grim Reaper, Ryuk, who's the death god whose notebook that he dropped to Earth. And the kicker is he dropped it because he was bored and wanted to see what the humans would do with this kind of power. And they become really good friends. And it's intriguing seeing all sides chasing each other. I think the thing that makes this anime great is the chase, is the hunt, is these two brilliant minds, and you're constantly wondering who's going to get the upper hand, and one person gets it, and then the other person gets it, and then the other person gets it. Some of it's luck, some of it is engineered brilliantly by both minds, and in the end, it comes down to who's going to outsmart the other one. It's a game of wits, something that I think most television shows or series are missing. That great struggle between two main characters, equally matched, and that tense sense of who is going to get the upper hand. Will he find out that this person who's becoming his friend is the person he's searching for? Is the person that is pretending to be his friend? Is he going to kill him? Can he kill him after they become the closest thing? I mean, intellectually, this person is his equal, and killing him then takes away that element of what he the challenge he's developed, the fun that they have from chasing each other. And it's really great, fascinating study on the human psyche. on the notions of good and evil, on right and wrong. I think anyone who is very intellectual and can look past the fact that this is a cartoon in essence or an animation, if you can look past that and you can see the other qualities that this has, I think right from the first episode, you can tell right away whether or not you'll like this show. And the first episode indeed hooks you, and it doesn't let go for 50 episodes straight. I have literally, this is my second viewing, and I've literally knocked out about 10, 15 episodes in one sitting. So it is highly addictive, especially being each episode is left in sort of a cliffhanger. And it gets to a point where you really want to know how this game is going to end. And good news, the first half of the show does end that and then continues on to the second half. So, anyways, this is my review for part one of the two-part series of Death Note. I'd say check it out. If you are a fan of psychological thrillers and if you're a fan of deep, intellectually challenging subject matter, this is the anime for you. Even if you've never seen anime, I can guarantee you this one is the one to watch if you're even thinking about dabbling into it, or if you just want to look at it from a perspective of writing. The writing is phenomenal. So, anyways, that's it for this review. So I've got 2 down today. Yay for me. Super excited. Nothing in the theater has really come out that has made me want to go and see anything, but we have a couple of movies on the horizon, which I will be seeing. I'm even going to go and review How to Train Your Dragon 3. I don't care. I'm a big kid. Me and some of my fellow coworkers are going to go see it. And you know what? I'm probably going to have fun because that's one of my favorite series that I think that has come out that's 3D animated besides Wreck-It Ralph. So I'll be doing a review on that. I'm definitely going to be covering Captain Marvel and the Avengers Endgame. And yeah, hopefully some other gems will come out that I will feel the need to tell you guys all about. But for right now, this knocks out this review. I will be doing maybe a throwback review where I review an older movie that people should be watching. My first one I was thinking of picking out was Die Hard, because it's one of my favorite films, and, well, heck, it's Christmassy kind of out anyways, so I may do that review either tomorrow or the next day, assuming I could go back and rewatch it and get those little things that I enjoy about this film. Anyways, this has been your friendly neighborhood reviewer. If you like this, please click the subscribe button or the like button down below. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe. If you would like notifications, I believe there's a little bell on the bottom that you can also hit to get notified on all of my newest content. Until next time, everybody stay warm, make some hot cocoa, kick back, relax, and throw on a great Netflix series. This is Lee Cole, and